Look, I was down on my back. They never thought I would last. I didn't run out of gas. I'm giving all that I can. They didn't know I'm the one. Stand my ground when they thought I would run. Beat me down when they thought I was done. Beating death like the sound of my drum. Feel like I can go do what I want. Hey, liberated. Liberated, man, I come from the worst generation. Overcame all the worst type of situations.
What's up, everyone? Kane here, Captain of the Day's Pirates, coming back at you with more Luffy Purple Straw Hat content. Mondays and Thursdays, we'll be getting new videos out to you guys every week. We today have a very kind of new or fresh take on RP Luffy that I'm pretty excited to share with you. Some of the people in my Discord have already started playing with it and having a blast with it, so I think we might need to expand on this one just a little bit more. So overall, this is a more board control focused Luffy, RP Luffy build. We have a lot more priority on removing characters from the board and kind of playing through that brook, that 6 cost brook that allows you to have a minus 2k to 2 different characters when you attack. As well as utilizing Mulligan, which is a minus 5k and KO a 2k or less. Gum UFO is a minus 4k. We're putting Rayleigh back into the fold, utilizing Ben Beckman at a high quantity, 2 new gates. It's been a very fun board control aspect to this deck. I will say immediately that what you might want to highlight is we don't have any natural rush characters, which obviously will hinder our Blackbeard matchup to some degree. But I think there's something to this deck. Like I said, a couple of people in our Discord have already started playing into a couple different matchups. I went 4-1 with it already, and the only game that I lost was a mirror match to another RP Luffy player. So I want to expand on this, and if you guys see any deck lists that I start messing with, any leaders that I start messing with, and you want me to really expand on it, drill into like what matchups are good and bad, and how this deck really does fare, I'm absolutely excited to expand on some of those things. I just want to know what you guys want to see, right? But this list has been a ton of fun. A couple people in my Discord, I've already been working with it as well. It hits green pretty hard. It hits some of the aggro decks pretty hard. But let's jump right into the gameplay and kind of see what it's all about. So our first game, like I said, that aggro matchup, we have Zoro. I did elect to go first. I just wanted to kind of take the initiative and drill through with some aggression and ramp. Let's get an OPO4 chopper. He double searches, so I don't have to worry about the searching or the event on this turn 1, which is nice, or turn 2, which is nice. Because you know that animal package likes to use that 1 cost event to search for those additional animals, so not having to worry about that is nice. They did go straight for an 8k, which is good pressure from them. Obviously, I know that they have their counter event at this point because they searched up off Kureha. So I am wanting to kind of develop a little bit of a board. Luckily, they only hit a hiking bear here, which isn't the worst target for us, for them to hit off of that event. And then we do develop a Rosinante, electing not to cycle away one of our gum giants because it's the best card in the deck. So he does elect to swing in a couple times. I had a lot of 2Ks, it's kind of awkward, so I didn't take that first one, or that second hit as well, and kind of plan to play out the new gate and then play from a position of strength for that next turn. At this point, I was considering not swinging with my Rosinante at all because I don't want to give him the opportunity to swing into that Rosinante himself. But I did elect that I think it was just correct to be able to pressure him as well as pressure that hiking bear off the board. He does search up another chopper, which plays out the new EBO2 chopper. This sequencing was a little bit interesting to me. What he did is basically elect to develop his board and check my Rosinante over checking my leader more directly in an aggressive fashion, which as an AK leader and these small bodies that he's developed hasn't been, the high rolls of that Drum Kingdom Chopper. So now I'm kind of figuring there's a pretty good chance he's going to look to block. And the only real option I have is to develop a 2020 Chopper blocker myself. I do elect to use the KO effect to clear out that 3K just to kind of get it out of the way. Oh yeah, and then he does end up swinging 7K here. So this is an interesting swing, right? So he minuses this down to 7, and he swings into this. And I do elect to counter for it, even though I'm rather positive he's going to Mole Pistol to KO this regardless of whether or not I counter for it. Well, if I don't counter for it, then it's gone, so he doesn't have to. So that's why I use this 1K, because he could dedicate a 7 into here, so I didn't have to use a 2K if he swung into my face, which is nice. And then I force him to use the Mole Pistol here. There's another 4 down. It's only a brick, but it's 4 down out of his turn. That's exactly right. I did read that through, that he was going to remove that. Then he does come through with 6. At this point, I just want to have as many cards available to me as possible. I know kind of every card counts and everything matters. So here, perfect timing for this new gate to show up. This is where the removal kicked in finally. I almost was like, well, it's kind of lame to show this if there's no removal. New gate showed up right on time. I'm able to create pressure and remove that blocker chopper so that he can't make any cheeky swings into my new gate, and also he can't block with it either. This next turn I end up playing through a little bit awkwardly or interestingly, depending on how you want to look at it. Because I'm trying to maintain that Usohachi in case he does decide to block her up. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to do. So here I do go for a 2 and a 1. I think here it would have been decent to go for my first Gum Gum Giant in hindsight, but I did go for the 2 and 1. Then he does go for that 6K, which makes it a little awkward, which might be why I should have cycled that 2 and 1 before. Another 6K here. So interesting thing, right? He has 6K here. If he uses this last 3 down on one of these 3Ks, I just use the Usohachi. But he's leaving 3 down open because I think he's going to play a blocker, because I think he's a little bit afraid or on the back heel. So I do elect to use my Giant, pitching a different Giant, knowing that his only attack options from here are 6K and the 6. So I can get out of them no matter what. Worth noting, I draw 2 bricks. Not ideal. But now I have this 2K Usohachi, so that if he does decide to block her up, which he does, I can rest it and immediately go for lethal. And I do kind of map this out absolutely perfectly. I go 10 in, that lands. And then I go 11 in with the new gate. And he has exactly 11K counter. Disgusting. What a great game, though. So, great showing for the last, great showing for that gameplay. Now we do have a Shanks, and we open with going first and missing a search. We have ramp, and we have an Amis, but we missed our first search, so that sucks. But now we're going to proceed from here. We do have our Zoro Juros, which is exactly what we're looking for. I do end up searching up a... oh no, sorry. Next turn. I do end up drawing a Brook, and then I'm swinging in and developing a Nami. I was also kind of expecting him to use leader effect on one of these 2 swings, and then he didn't. So then I actually ended up going for a swing with Nami anyways, instead of developing that Instead of searching with the Nami, I went for 6K swing with the Nami to get pressure on his life. He's already have a play for next turn regardless. Get one more card out of his hand or take some damage. Another 2K, which is great. He swings the Uta into the Nami. Easy peasy. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze again. He swings in 7K after playing Yasop. We have we don't have any 2K, so we do end up taking. But we draw a 2K. It's kind of fun. Go up to 9. We get to swing in 7, and this Rayleigh just immediately gets to check the Yasop. Just good board control, good tempo. Don't mind that at all. He plays his own Rayleigh, just kind of minusing mine, which is fine. I kind of make a slight miscalculation. For some reason, I was thinking he was a 6 at this point, but he's really only a 5. Doesn't end up being the end of the world. Also on this turn, I was realizing that I think I could KO the Rayleigh on his side, but I kind of realized as I'm thinking through this that it's not the biggest priority, really. And holding that reduction and removal for the following turn might yield me some better value. So because I forget how small Rayleigh is, I should have swung slightly differently. I should have swung with him as 6 and my leader as 7. But I just was off slightly on the math there, so that's just a mental mistake. And then he does just play a Shanks removing my Rayleigh, which actually, interestingly, I think he should have removed my Brook. And I guess he doesn't know what's coming from me on this deck list. But I do get to use a Gum Gum UFO, which then is a minus 4K on that 12K. I then swing with my Brook, minus a Don, make that Shanks into a 6K, and that Rayleigh into a 6K. And then I swing 7 with my leader, and then I'm able to play out a Ben Beckman trashing a 12K character. What a line. I was at this point I was kind of geeked on this deck, right? This is only like my second game. He does swing into the Brook. I make a slight overreach or overestimation here, trying to go for a Gear 5 line and wanting to protect this Brook. And I run out of counter because I draw 2 bricks off of the Gum Gum Giant. So then at this point, I'm debating, do I even go for the Gear 5? And at that point, I think I had actually messed up the math. I think I was only at 9 anyways, so I had to just go all in with what I had. And I did a pretty solid job with it. And he is out there, and we got him. Shanks will pick up later. Alright, so this is a mirror match that was kind of Turbo City, so this will only be a couple minutes here as we go through it. I go Zoro, he goes Zoro. I go to swing with the Zoro, going 8-8, just keeping pressure on him because he took that first 6K swing from me. Getting some cards out of hand. And he swings into my Zoro. He plays out the 3-cost Sanji, which is decent pressure. I just get to play straight into a 9-cost Newgate, which going first in the mirror match into Newgate is phenomenal. Now I'm an 8. He ends up taking this one because he doesn't have the counter, or he doesn't want to Gum Gum Giant yet, I suppose. He plays out the 9-cost Luffy. I do elect to take that one. And then at this point, I'm kind of just doing the math. I'm like, can't I just Gear 5 here? So I'm debating. I'm like, well, depending on when if he counters out, I can just Gum Gum Giant up after playing the Gear 5. and he does counter out of the 10k. I play my gear 5. He goes going to 7. Counters out of that with a 2k, no problem. Good extra turn. So I swung with the gear 5 first here because depending on kind of where his hand size was, I could then flex to not, because he had no life left, I could flex to not swing with the 10k leader swing. But after kind of started doing the math in the game, and I was like, it's kind of funnier as I go 4 up. So I did. And we got there. So to get there off of that 10k swing. Okay. This next matchup is very fun too. We did jump right into. Oh, I almost forgot to record. Right, that was it. So I thought I was recording. I didn't. So I started off. I went first. My first search was a Gum Gum Giant. Then I drew this. Then I searched for a Brook off of my second Nami, and he's plays through turn 2. He plays that new Rosinante that allows him to search for a 2 cost, and he gets the carrot. Or sugar, rather. Sugar, not carrot. So I was like, this is kind of a cool enough matchup that I want to play it, even though I kind of messed up at the beginning. So we're here. He plays the second one of those searchers that hits. Wait, can I hit this? Huh. I didn't realize that. Oh, because it is a 2 cost. Yeah, I can hit a 2 cost or less. Nice. And I didn't even catch that was what happened there. Now, Sugar is a high priority target to get off the board because she's just so annoying. And noteworthy that even though she's rested, she can still use her effect once per turn. It's on a cost to rest her. It just says then rest her. But now he gets to untap and do the search thing 3 times. It's insane. He gets a Rosinante. Great. He gets a Sugar. The Sugar is a 2k that he gets to put back in his hand. Like Ivankov packages play that. That's not Sugar. That is a Charlotte Pudding. Dang, what's all this food? Then he plays, so this whole board is 5 Rosinates all of a sudden. 2 blockers and 2 of the new searchers. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to clear some of it, but also he has to use a down every time he uses one of them, so it's like I'm not trying to spend all day clearing these freaking things. I even swing my Mr. 2 into him because he's not doing anything else. Really do get to develop a 7 cost new gate, which is going to help us start to clean this up as well. And yeah, just what a sequence. Gets another Sugar off of that search. Swings into the Mr. 2. Red rocks my 7 cost new gate. At this point, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm like debating, like, do I develop a Brook? How much do I want the Sugar off the board? Like, what's the priority at this point? To that point, it may have been worthwhile. So he searched up another Rosinante off the Rosinante. Yeah, I didn't even catch this while I was playing the game that he's getting more Rosinates off of using his 2 cost Rosinante. The card's so cool for that deck. Then he ends up playing out a 8 cost kid and brings out a Sugar with it. And I'm trying to bait exactly how I want to swing into his use his Captain Kid and also develop my Brook for the following turn. I end up developing this Brook, and then did I mess that up? Nope. Okay, cool. And he ends up playing a 10 cost Doflamingo, freezing both of my board. Actually, I didn't swing with my leader. I was like, did he not freeze my leader? But no, it's because I didn't swing with it. Now I swing 10k in because of the kid. Just kind of gets the pressure and cards out of hand. And then I God thread the Sugar so that I have a little bit more control the following turn. I could have maybe just taken this turn to swing a little bit harder at the useless Captain Kid. But I suppose I was looking for a Rayleigh play the following turn. Because Yeah, I guess God Thread into Sugar there is kind of interesting. But we do here just counter out for our Brook. Swings in here. I think I counter out for this as well. 2 and 1. Yep. And then he elects to Red Rock my Brook. And I'm like, shoot. And then I top deck a Gum Gum UFO. And I'm like, alright, wait, this is something. Minus 4K plus what Rayleigh gives me access to. So we use the Rayleigh and the Gum Gum UFO to then destroy the 7 cost and then swing into, or the 8 cost kid and then swing into the Doflamingo for some more counter out of hand. Then swing leader into face, get another 2K out of hand. And now it's tight, I'm not gonna lie. At least it's only 7K coming in from Doflamingo. As a baseline, he does go 6 in with leader first. We 2K that, or 1K that. We 2K. I think I took this one. Yep. Yep, I took the 7 from Doflamingo, which actually kind of risky. I probably should have just 2K'd that realistically. Then I swing in. 8K into 5. Go ahead on 0. I barely get out of the. Hang on. So he swings 11. I go 2Ks out of the 11. He swings 10. I have to take the 10. And I'm like, oh, I'm screwed. Or Gum Gum Giant. Never didn't have it, boy. Love to see it. I countered out and he goes, what the fuck? I ended up complimenting him on his deck list afterwards too. What a sweet deck that we saw there. The removal helped huge. It was a very fun game. This deck list overall is an absolute blast to play. If you guys want to see me expand upon it and test it out some more, please do comment. Let me know what deck list you guys want me to be focusing on. I think there's some real validity to this package and the way that it played. Like I said, my Discord members, one guy was saying that he beat like 5 GP Luffy's or 3 GP Luffy's. I think it was 3 GP Luffy's in a row. And then he also beat like a kid setup where he removed like a Tashigi, a Rosinante, and a kid in the same turn. And then one of my other people were playing, and they said they were also winning with it. I don't know. It's a really fun list. You guys should definitely check it out. If you want to see me test it out some more, expand on the matchup experience with it, I will gladly do so. But overall, Kane and Gear 5 Productions out. Thanks for tuning in.